And welcome back once more, everybody, to the UMG Champions Apex Legends $10,000 Arena Invitational. It's a bit of a mouthful of a title, and this is going to be a mouthful of a series as well. We're going to be joining it in Game 2 Gardens, as you can see. Already, Tom, G2 taking Party Crasher 3-0.
I just had a mouthful of Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich over here.
Hashtag
no ad. Hashtag no ad. Thanks to the UMG crew for keeping us, not starving over here. They've been treating me pretty well. They even, let me lay down on their couch without bothering me. So shout out to everyone over at UMG.
I don't know what to say here. I mean, you're getting fed, you're getting naps. I mean, I'm over here just watching, starving. I wish I lived in the States sometimes, but what can you do? Let's talk about this game, Tom. Let's do that because that's something that at least I can contribute to you. In fact, you know what? I'm going to let you talk about it because you're fed. You're slept, you're feeling rested. Let's talk about G2 because they've had a little bit of a heartbreaking loss today, but still, in my opinion, one of the strongest arena teams. They're 1-0 up in the series. Gardens is the kind of map I feel like they can really assert some dominance here.
You know what G2's eating? They're eating Pop-Tarts. See, I was just setting up everybody for that one right there. No, I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do when you're going up against G2 and they're pissed off that they lost earlier? And this is what we were expecting. G2 to come through. They don't lose back-to-back games. They don't tend to go on losing streaks. They get angry, they come back, and they play with a vengeance. And I fully anticipate G2 to play even more aggressive and more together. I think that they tried to, this is what G2 does. They try to individually skill and just outmuscle their opponents. They have to have a little bit more respect, and they realize, hey, if we work together, it's that much easier for us, and we look that much better individually if we actually all just kind of work as a unit.
We're going to have to see if G2 can work as that unit that has brought them success in the past and certainly brought them success in the first map of this series. They're up by 1 if you're just joining us, just to remind you, and it was a convincing victory as well, 3-0 over their opponents, Pop-Tarts here. But as you can see in the map fly through, we're going over to Gardens now, one of the closer quarter battles, I would say, as far as maps are concerned, that we have in the rotation at the moment in the arenas. And we're all usually kind of fought around either the extreme high ground that you can see on the right-hand side of your screen right now, or on the left-hand side, on the slightly lower ground, I would say, where the sort of multi-story buildings find themselves, Tom.
And this is going to be just an all-out bloodbath to start things. I mean, we're seeing teams take double zip lines and even throw pre-grenades, Hail Marys directly into the air. That's where Pathfinder ends up being extremely useful. So Dezignful is going to have to be the MVP. He's going to have to hit the shots. And he's actually doing so as the first knock's going to go on over to Gentrifyinq. That's going to be ZDavis, and it's going to be difficult now because they know exactly where these players are. Exile's next to drop, and it's just one more onset for G2. We knew they were going to come through swinging, but we didn't know it was going to be this fast.
Yeah, I didn't know it would be this dominant. I didn't know it would be this ugly, to be honest with you. That is a dominant first-round performance from them. I think every single player on the team hit bodies with those wingmen and really did some damage. That was a question I was going to ask you as well, Tom. I was having this debate with myself. It's one of those weird questions that I can't quite work out the answer to. What is the plural of wingman?
Wingmen.
Wingmen. Are we going with wingmen or wingmans?
Yes. I don't know.
There you go. See, it's not as easy as it first seems, is it?
The dingers. Just say they got the dingers.
Multiple dingers. All right, fair enough. We'll roll with that one. Well, the dingers were hitting hard there, and they certainly will clipping some shields and bodies for G2. That was about as good a start as you could possibly imagine. You can see if that's the kind of momentum they're going to be rolling with right now, then I don't really see a way back into this for Team Pop-Tarts. This is a really important round for momentum. Just a reminder, that's 4 rounds back-to-back, if you include the previous map, that G2 have now taken home. And for Pop-Tarts, they need to find some sort of momentum, some sort of grip here, Tom.
And they're going to be giving up high ground again. They're going to give over the healing pill as well, as they're going to be getting some space of their own to kind of create. But Dezignful's feeling himself right now. He wants to go and try to open things up. He's got P20 Mozam, so maybe a little cocky. Maybe he's saving some money. I'm not quite sure, but he's actually connecting with these shots too. And the way that he's posturing, it looks like he's ready to full send with a grapple any second now. He may even heal with a battery throughout all of this, but the pressure is on Pop-Tarts, and Dezignful is making Swiss cheese Pop-Tarts with these P20 shots.
He's putting holes in everyone at the moment. The P20 is hitting hard, and it is hitting true. Another 18, and all of these meds are now going to be really starting to dwindle down here for Team Pop-Tarts, and the question is, can Resultuh and Gentrifyinq get in position now to finish off some of this damage that's being done by Dezignful? And you can see the way that G2 are playing this at the moment, Tom. They are really being aggressive. Any kind of area that they can push up onto, any kind of space they are taking. Here's a Skynade as well, and Davis has gone down, so now it's a 2v3, and no surprise to see, here comes G2 on the push.
Nice shots right there from Exile, hitting that 76 wingman. He's actually trying to get that thirst, but it doesn't matter. No ALGS kill points. You're gonna have to kill your teammates, or you're gonna have to kill his teammates right there if you want to win the round. But I mean, right now it's ZDavis getting picked off twice to start things, and you have to be careful if you're ZDavis, because you're probably not used to the amount of aggression that's coming through. And a lot of times, all that is you're going to peek and try to challenge one of these players to 1v1. You lose that trade, and then next thing you know, you back off, and then one of your teammates lose that trade, and then you're getting infiltrated. You're getting stomped on. You're just getting bombarded by G2.
Well, it has been every single one of those adjectives so far from G2. And now Dezignful's got the Sentinel out as well, and Dezignful really has been mixing it up with his choices of weaponry and what he wants to bring to the party. Let's see if the Sentinel can do some damage as well. It's charged up with that shield cell, and a shot here which certainly cracks some shields if he manages to land a headshot, and Dezignful just whipping those shots around, but not able to connect as yet. And G2 still trying to get aggressive though. You can see them bubbling up onto the roof immediately, and there's two. I should say there's one, there's the knock, and there's the finish, and G2 already asserting dominance. They have a man advantage. It's a 2v3 here for Pop-Tarts.
And some of these, you know, I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say, I mean, some of these Bloodhound teams are getting just straight exposed, man. Like, you're seeing just complete disarray from the Pop-Tarts team. ZDavis not even close to where his teammates are. It's like they're just leaving him to dry throughout all of these moments, or he's just not on the same page as the shots coming through. Exile has really been the only one to put up some sort of fight on this Pop-Tarts team. Just really unfortunate how bad they're getting worked right now. I mean, there's nothing that they could do. This is exactly what we anticipated from G2 Esports. They do not have back-to-back bad games. They do not have back-to-back series. That's what makes them one of the scariest teams that we have in North America.
Well, game two, pack it up and ship it, because G2 are absolutely dominant, and G2 have closed it out. That is 3-0, 3-0. It's as simple as that. I don't know how else I could explain it to everybody watching back at home. So it's impressive to say the least, Tom. 3-0, 3-0. What else can I say to add to that? Dominant.
And you're seeing, you know, the way that they're doing it, it's not even close. Like, there's no 1v1s. It's, okay, here's the initial knock. Okay, here's the rest of the knocks, and maybe we'll lose one player. That player doesn't even have time to get thirsted. That's how tight everybody's playing. And you look at Pop-Tarts, ZDavis gets knocked. Where is everybody else? There's literally no resistance from Team Pop-Tarts. It's too easy right now for G2. I'm curious why you think going with the charge rifle right there is going to stop them from coming at you. That's the last gun I would want for a team that's going to get in my face.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. I think you got to get some sort of automatic and a shotgun in your hand if you really want to try and at least slow down that push. Coming in from G2, but it's one thing knowing what's coming, it's another thing dealing with it. And this first round really did set the tone here, Tom. You know, just the wingman shots just crushing from every single member of G2. And even though Exile managed to hit some nice wingman shots here towards what was the end of the game by the looks of things, because obviously we only had 3 rounds to really talk of. The only thing we can talk about is G2. It was simple, it was dominant, it was destructive, and for Pop-Tarts, they kind of got crushed up in the hands. It was a bit ugly.
They really did. And the thing is you see ZDavis go down 3 rounds in a row right there first. I'm so confused what's going on the roof, where you have Charge Rifle Mozambique so late into the game. I feel like it's almost a troll maneuver. I'm thinking Volt, Eva 8, I'm thinking R9, I'm thinking Wingman, something along the lines of, okay, I know that these aim assist boys are going to try to get in my face. How am I going to handle that situation? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize I should probably pick up automatic weapons and a shotgun. So hopefully, you know, they move forward. The best way to counter this right now, pick up a flatline round 1. Don't go with the wingman. You're not going to out-trade these players 1-for-1. What you need to do, hit a little duck strafe, maneuver a little bit more, and start hipfire flatlining up close, or take that, you know, mouse and keyboard medium range advantage that you have and start abusing that.
We'll have to see if they do change something, because it's going to need to change, because now, as you can see, we're moving to Overflow as our third map, and for Pop-Tarts, they're staring down the barrel of a 9-0 series loss, not just a 3-0. I'm talking rounds, and that is about as it would almost feel the series would be over before it even started, to be honest with you. So they're going to have to change something up, and it's easier said than done, because we're now going over to a map which is incredibly linear. It lends itself to close range fights where G2 have been showing their dominance so far, Tom. I think it's very difficult to see a different way that this series is going to end.
I feel like Pop-Tarts is playing a little bit scared, and maybe rightfully so, based on how G2 is playing. I'm not in the lobby with them. I'm sure I would be probably doing around the same as they're doing right now, probably even worse. But the thing is I know they're better than this. I know that Pop-Tarts has what it takes to take some rounds, take a game even, maybe even win this thing, but they have to play together. And there's no way, no matter what team you're playing, I wouldn't say that TSM would make these mistakes, because that's not what they do. But Pop-Tarts, they're still a very newly formed team. This is a new roster that they have, and all they have to do is just, be confident in one another, have some unity. ZDavis either needs to get some backup or he needs to stay with his team. He can't just be the one player that's out there in the open.
Well, let's see if they can get something rolling here on Overflow. Let's see if they can pick up a round to start with and then kind of move from there, and see if they can get a little bit of momentum behind themselves and find a couple of rounds on the board. Before you know it, all of a sudden, you can find yourselves back into the game, and you can find yourself back into the series with a map win here. However, G2, incredibly dominant. There's not really anything else that can be said for them. And you feel like, Tom, if the first round goes G2's way here, that this could be all she wrote already.
It really does, but if they keep this first round close, that's going to give them some confidence. It can't be another 3-1. It can't be another 3-0 wipe. And the way that I would counter this, literally, and now they're just toying with them. They're going with Mirage, Loba, and this should be a slap in the face of Team Pop-Tarts. They should take this as, a sign of, okay, they think they can come at us like this. Sentinel, Mozam, Mirage. I would, again, come out with Flatline, Mozam on the other side, maybe a grenade if you can afford it, and see what you could do against this G2 squad. But I mean, just look at these guys. They're connecting with 0 scopes across the map with the Sentinel.
I mean, if I'm Team Pop-Tarts right now, I think there's two ways to look at this, right? The competitor in me loves what G2 are doing. They want to really, establish themselves as a dominant force here by the character selection, whatever you want to call it, and the way they're approaching this game number 3. But if you're Pop-Tarts, I'm pissed off right now. If someone has the audacity to come out and choose the likes of, Mirage against me, then I'm coming out swinging here. This is the motivation I need to step it up. And a 76 there headshot coming in from Exile might give them the opening. And this is what I want to see. Aggression. There's the knock. This is more like it from Team Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, see, Exile's the only one over here playing confident. He's the only one so far that's done anything for Team Pop-Tarts. And I love Lion. I love ZDavis. They're great friends of mine, and they're great players. I want to see them play with the type of confidence that Exile is doing. That's what this game's all about. If you come through, and you should be pissed off, they're coming through and trying to disrespect the way that y'all have been playing. And watching it from third party, it's so much easier to decipher how far off they actually could be or how close they could be from G2. I think that they're right there. It's just a matter of experience. Keep in mind, G2 has been a team for quite some time. Originally, they were aim assist. They were signed by a couple of different orgs. Now they end up on G2 Esports. This has been a team since they were playing on console. So don't be that demoralized. Just play together and use this as a building opportunity for your squad.
Well, that play from Exile might just be the spark that Team Pop-Tarts needed to just find that belief that you talked about, find that confidence, and really get them back into this. However, Dezignful is going to take down the man who was that spark. He's going to extinguish it before it even gets going here. It's going to be a man advantage here to G2 Esports. Dezignful, he's pretty weak himself, but he takes down ZDavis as well, and the Sentinel is hitting true here for Dezignful. They only need to pick up one more.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. They're even going to hit him with the finisher right there, and I believe it's just up to Lion in this type of situation. They're going to pick up a couple of the extra meds, see what kind of guns are getting rocked on the ground, pick up that P20 instead of the Mozam since it had the clip in it. And I'm surprised that they're not going for some punches here. There it is, little kung fu fighting, and they're going to finish it off with the kick. But again, big separation coming through from everybody on the team, on Team Pop-Tarts. You have to be within helping distance of your ability. Not seeing that from them, but you're still just seeing great shots from G2, great confidence from G2, and great teamwork. They're always baiting and switching.
Yeah, G2, it's one thing to try and be aggressive. It's one thing to, want to be the aggressors in situations. However, if you're getting hit by a Sentinel every time that you peek and every time that you move from behind a head glitch, it's pretty much, it's nigh on impossible to do so to get any kind of momentum going.
You know who they remind me of?
Who?
The Halo 2 Jackals on Elite.
Yes. Yeah, it's true. I mean, if anyone's played Halo 2 and they've played on Legendary, and you know what a Jackal is, and you know what that beam rifle does, and at the moment it feels like Dezignful is the Jackal, and at the moment he's on Legendary mode here. He hits an 88 sliding out. It's going to be a knock here, and all of a sudden Dezignful is not even going to think about looking for shields, because I think the Pop-Tarts know that this one might be over. G2 take yet another round here, and G2, they go up 2-1. They go up 3-1. It doesn't matter at this point. I think this game is done and dusted here. And I tell you what, G2 looking more like the G2 I expected to see a little bit earlier.
Man, I wonder if Pop-Tarts is kind of collapsing at this point. I haven't seen any plays coming out from anybody right now besides Exile. So I would love to see some sort of, bounce back. But right now, you're seeing it, man. No one's taking damage on the other side of G2. Like, they're literally playing amazing. And excuse me, that's actually blitziin instead of Lion. So I got my teams mixed up there. And blitziin is another great player, but still there's no presence on the map. I'm so confused on what's going on. Have we even seen blitziin anywhere besides when he's dying at the very end?
I mean, when you've got Dezignful just running at you, look at this confidence coming in from Dezignful.
I'm pretty sure he's camo, like, directly behind him, ready to assassinate him.
It wouldn't surprise me, to be honest with you. We've had some Halo references, and that might be another one coming in, to be honest with you. Coming in from Dezignful. blitziin taken down to no shields. He'll be taken out once again by Dezignful with the Sentinel. And at the moment, it is really just a victory lap. It's a victory parade, whatever you want to call it. The open top bus is ready for the G2 win and victory lap. And it's just a case of closing things out now. G2 finding that last player. They will win the series. The shot is going to miss, which is always a surprise, to be honest with you. We'll see Gibby dropping the leg, dropping the backside, whatever you want to call it. That is done, dusted. Exile still alive somehow here, Tom, but the game is done and dusted.
Yeah, Exile, the only one actually trying on his team. I feel actually horrible for him. I literally feel like his teammates gave up, and that's a horrible sign. I mean, I don't know how y'all feel as a competitor, but the last thing I want to see is, I don't want to get embarrassed like that. I'm honestly pissed off for Team Pop-Tarts as a former pro player. That was a pathetic display of Apex.
Well, you've heard it from Tom Taylor, and it's difficult to argue with it, to be honest with you. G2 take home the series victory, only dropping one round in the process. It was as simple as you like. It was easy, to be honest with you, and their opponents, Team Pop-Tarts, really not putting up much of a fight there, and there's not much more to say on the matter. It's done, it's dusted, book it and send it.
I mean, that's pretty much it. And I mean, there's really not a lot of analysis that we can get from that series, unfortunately. 9-1 victory. T-Squared said it best, as a competitor, he'd be upset because you have one player who's truly trying, and it's just really unfortunate. Map 1, they don't drop any kills. Map 2, they only get 1 kill, and I think that was Exile. And then map 3, I don't know, well, they won 1 round, so naturally they get more kills than they did in the other 2 maps, but it is what it is. I mean, G2 showed up. They wanted to win. And the fact that they, map number 3 go Mirage, Loba, Gibby. And also, too, something to take note of as well. In map number 2, Dezignful switches from Octane to Pathfinder. And Gentrifyinq switches from Pathfinder to Octane. So they were even switching up roles. Even in map number 2, despite them not going as crazy and egregious as Mirage and Loba, they still were switching it up. So even in map 2, you can already tell that they knew where they sat. They knew they had this in the bag, and it's unfortunate for Pop-Tarts. They go 0-3 for the day.